What's going on today, folks? This is Steve, and we are with Race Day once again, as always, on a Tuesday night. Today, something different. We're across the pond in Japan for Twin Ring Motegi, the big egg-shaped oval. Going to be a lot of fun today. Race number 4 for the ASRA Harpoon Design Cup Series. We're going to be doing this tonight, 150 laps to determine who can win this international race. Cannot wait to get this thing going. Right now, qualifying has begun, so we're going to go down trackside and see what the boys have going on here. Big crowd and a big field. Let's get down to it. Here we go. A lot of guys right now showing up. Andrew Phipps currently on top of the pole right here in that P1 spot, looking pretty quick. Brandon Bowie finishing his lap. Keep in mind, these guys only get that one lap too in this series this season, so a lot of these guys have to get it done nice and early. Mark Whitley, there he is. Looks like Mark's going to qualify P6 right here. Kenny Reel on track. 16th for him. A couple of more guys. Timothy Harper in P9. Doing pretty good. A couple of guys in the back right here. Jacob Emery making it work right now. And pretty solid. Thomas Meeks comes out on track, currently in the 28th spot. Bunch of guys not qualifying just yet, but they sure will. James Kaufman, 19th right here. David Medina right now in P8. Tyler Dohar. I expect big things out of Tyler Dohar pretty soon here. Maybe even today. Hasn't had the best luck so far, but definitely quick. Frankie Broso now coming down. Getting that lap. Going to be P3 for Frankie Broso. Jacob Wiest now. Going to come down on the track. Man, so far, a lot of guys getting this thing done. Brandon 6 now. You're going to be crossing that stripe. He's a contender for that pole. Can he get it? Yes, he does. Brandon 6 to the top. Just like that. Beats his teammate Andrew Phipps with a 36.19. So extremely quick. That's going to be it, folks. Qualifying is over. Just like that, Brandon 6 will be your pole sitter at the last second right there. Good stuff. We're going to enter into a bit of a warm-up period right now. We're going to go and thank some sponsors while they do this. This is typically when they do the drivers meeting, so we're going to let them do that. We'll come back in just a second, folks. Stick around.
Fancy like Husky, fancy like Husky, fancy like Husky, fancy like doggy bowl empty, Lakers pool sleeping, rug pull, cash grab, NFTs delight, rug pull, cash grab, idiot.
All right, folks, welcome back right now to the international race. Getting a quick warm-up here for the drivers after qualifying, right before we get the race going. Right now they're doing that pre-race meeting, just so we can talk to them about expectations and all kinds of stuff. But hey, if you weren't here last week, man, Homestead was a very, very good race. A lot of fun. Had a couple of cautions, maybe 3 or 4 early on, right, including those stages. But after that, we were clean and green for about 100 plus laps. So that was very, very cool. And that was a great race right there. So right now we're going to get down to it. Going to be at the track, 150 laps in this big track, 1.5 miles. Kind of an interesting place. It kind of has a likeness to Homestead to it, but also kind of like a bigger gateway in a sense. It's very, very interesting for sure, as we see. But either way, right now we're going to get down trackside, get the grid going. Start getting this thing fired up. Brandon 6 right now, going to be our pole sitter today. Alrighty, here we go, folks. Front of the field, getting going now. Already. P1, there he is, Brandon 6. Andrew Phipps rolling off P2. John Hagan, 3rd spot. Frankie Barroso, P4. Brandon Bowie, 5th. Rounding out that top 10, Nick Lights, Jackson Anderson, Tim Robb, Mark Whitley, and then David Medina. Looking good right now for that top 10. A lot of cars in the field today. In fact, there's actually 40 on the dot, so a lot of good stuff here. Gonna get this thing going. Kind of a late day race. Sunset shouldn't be really a thing, but we're gonna find out what happens as we get this thing going. We'll talk about the field, folks, as we get this thing going, but 1 lap and we're gonna go green here. At this point, basically half a lap, so we're gonna fire it up and off we go. Starter cam has that green flag in the air, and just like that, we're green. Gotta be careful right now, diving into turn 1, 3 wide already. It's possible, but you gotta be really careful. All around this track, we're going to see a lot of multiple groove racing. One car already way off right here. 3 and 4 wide. Last time we were here, we saw some wrecks. The first couple of laps because so many guys tried to send it in pretty deep. Into 3 and 4 especially. It's much narrower than turns 1 and 2. So far, we're starting to figure it out. Single file already, 2 wide still. Mark Whitley and Tim Robb right here on the outside. Turns 1 and 2 are nice and sweeping. It's kind of like Pocono 3 and 4, or 3, I guess, at Pocono. Or like a really big gateway 3 and 4 is what I meant to say. But it turns 1 and 2 very, very tight, or 3 and 4, excuse me, very, very tight. And much harder braking zone. As you can see, look at the back of the field here already. Still 3 wide. Oh, 1 into the wall right here. Who's that? In the back, William Griffith. In the pits, spun around. Should be able to maintain his composure here. We'll see. There he goes, keeps it straight. No yellow. This track is pretty big though, 1.5 miles. Hard break there for William Griffith, but man, luckily this place is kind of tough too. There's not a whole lot of off track. It's super wide. You can see the front stretch right here, very, very wide. A lot of these guys are going to try and get for every inch they can. And typically a one groove racetrack, but it can really work its way out to about 2, especially right here in turns 1 and 2. Good stuff thus far. Keep in mind, folks, stage 1 will end on lap 25. Bit of an error there in our graphic. There we go, we'll fix that for you. So 25 will be the first stage. And again, stages, we always know, right? They can create that urgency. But these races are typically pretty long, as we're seeing Mealy right here making a move on Timothy Harper. Down low, looks like. You gotta be careful. Turns 1 and 2, you can really, man, the center of the corner, and we'll ride on board here in just a second. Actually, you know, we'll do it right now. Joseph Mealy, a good opportunity to get our first lap in real quick. He'll take 3 and 4 now. Pressure by Mark Whitley. But a good time for our first Hosky hot lap. So you'll see him right here, upshift to 5th. And then entering turns 1, it's so sweeping. Nice wide arc. You'll downshift most likely down here to gear 4 later on in the runs. Kind of maintain this center right here. You have to be so patient. Back on the throttle. And then off you go. Upshift. Typically would happen there if you were downshifting into 4th. But right now, hard braking zone into 4th. Sometimes 3rd here. If the braking and the tires really need it. You got to be really gingerly off of this corner. You can see that right there, the auto, the correction. It can get real loose off turn 4. But a really good drive so far for Joseph Mealy, looking pretty solid. Doing a very good job. Yeah, right here especially, got to really, it's hard to kind of feel it out when you can really get back on the gas, but he's doing a great job, I will say. Good stuff for Joseph Mealy. Up at the front though, Brandon Six currently has the lead now by 0.3 of a second. Phipps and Hagen following suit right there. Brandon Bowie, Frankie Barroso also not too far back. A couple more guys as well. Harper. Everyone really kind of spreading out at this point, which is kind of nice to see, right? Because, again, going back to that conversation of, man, just all the issues, right? You know, stages create that urgency, and that can typically be and has been a topic of discussion, right? It's just, you know, hey, stages kind of create aggressive driving and all kinds of stuff, but it all depends. Three and 4 wide though right here. A couple of guys right before it. Richard Woodruff. Man. Right here as well, Austin Salyers trying to do what he can to stay up front. Obviously very difficult at times. Alrighty, we're back, it looks like. Saw that we had some drop frames there, so wanted to clear that up for us. A couple little gremlins still in the stream, but we're getting better every single week, so it's all good. We're in the 6th though up front. A lot of guys in the back of the field though still fighting pretty hard. We're seeing Grant Salzano right now in P37. Don't see any damage, I don't think, to this car, so I don't see why he's so far back. Try and take a closer look. Nothing too much right there. Devin Sprecher, 35th currently. Doing what he can. Daryl Young right now in that 34th spot. Everyone kind of already spread out though. Single file racing. Jacob Weiss going to make a move here. Oh no, James Kaufman bounces off that wall. Weiss can't hold on to it. That's going to be a caution right there. Oof. Somehow, okay, there it is. I was going to say, I'm like, how is that not a caution? Yeah, but James Kaufman right there bounced off the wall, looks like. Looks like that front bumper kind of bounced right back into place, so that's not too bad for Jacob Weiss. But man, we're going to look back at that for sure. Not real sure why that even happened. I mean, Kaufman looks like he came off the wall. Take a look back real fast. Try and get a better look here. James Kaufman has already gone down right there, so we'll go back even further. Try and find out where it happens. Might be just around here, so let's take a look. Here we go. So yeah, Kaufman here on the outside lane. Gonna come, so he's up high right now, but then I think he bounces off this wall. Coming out, yeah, just bounces hard off of it. Just really misjudged how to take the exit of turn 2. And then yeah, Weiss, I mean, didn't hit anything else after that. In the front of that car looks decent. Sometimes these drivers get lucky, and the damage kind of netcodes back into being okay. So he might be okay there, judging by how that car looks now. So not too bad. But our first caution right now, lap 14, 10 laps away from getting our first stage underway. Looking pretty decent so far. Yeah, I don't see a lot of damage really on that front end. I think it did. I think it did just kind of snap back into place, and I think he got lucky there. So not too bad for Jacob Weiss. Not too bad. Either way, a bunch of guys still staying out on the track. Bunch of guys down pit roads. Smecker, Dohar. A lot of these guys going to be taking some fuel, obviously, topping off. Fuel's not going to be a concern this first stage. But this fuel could help as far as stage 2. If these guys, you know, maybe don't take tires at the end of this first stage, a lot of strategy can still happen. So typically how these work, for the most part, no fuel's needed for the first stage. Second stage, they have to have tires and fuel for sure. And then stage 3 can be, you know, whatever it wants to be. So a lot on the line today. This is one of our trophy races here as well. For ASRA, they give out a trophy for 6 special races of the season, and this is one of those. So we give one out to Jackson Anderson for Daytona, because that's obviously one of our bigger ones, but there he is right there. But then, yeah, today, Motegi, the international race, going to be giving that too. So pace car light still on. We're going to go take a quick break, folks. We'll thank some sponsors. We'll come right back.
Fancy like Husky, fancy like Husky, fancy like Husky, fancy like doggy bowl empty, Lakers pool sleeping, rug pull, cash grab, NFTs delight, rug pull, cash grab, idiot.
All right, back here for the twos right now on race day, doing the international race for ASRA. You can see all these guys picking the high line or the low line, depending on what they want for their stage. Different options here for everybody. A lot of guys choosing down low, obviously, or the high line. All kinds of things can happen here, but overall, good stuff. And there we go. So Brandon 6 will still lead us off. John Hagen on the outside line there in P2. And we'll get one more restart here. Then we'll get about 7 laps to go until stage 1 ends. Obviously, if a caution comes out within 5 laps of that scheduled distance, that'll be called the stage end. So if we get one more caution about 3 laps, 4 laps from now, that'll be it. So stage points up for grabs, obviously, and restarts are always the best time to grab those points. So let's see if they decide to be aggressive here or cool, calm, and collected. We'll find out. But Brandon 6, John Hagen up front. Here we go. Back at it again. Green flag is out. John Hagen, the outside line, did not get a great jump right there. Andrew Phipps already pretty much at his door. And there they go, 3 wide already. We're going to see this a lot today for sure. That 28 right there in the field. Brand new, Jonathan Adams. Been pretty stout so far, 24th spot right now. Everyone else still looking pretty good. Single file. Andrew Phipps struggling on the outside line right now. Can't quite power it down. Everyone jostling for those positions. Jackson Anderson really making a move right here. Up in the front. Up to P6 already. Pretty good job, really. Oh, yellow flag, though. Couldn't quite tell what it was. We've seen everyone looking pretty decent here. Oh man, yeah, normally our system kind of alerts us and says, hey, this person's spun around or turned around or whatnot, but I don't see any kind of an issue here. So we'll go back a little bit, see if we can find out what happens. I believe it was kind of in the back here. Oh, up in the front. Oh, Medina. Okay, David Medina. All right, let's go back once more and take a gander. Here he is, Medina right here. He's got Mealy behind him as well as Mark Whitley in front. Tim Harper right there going to come down into turn 1, I believe this is. Oh, yeah, we're 3 wide. Just couldn't quite get it done. Keeps it straight. Actually, really great recovery there by not getting more drivers involved. But keeps it going. But yeah, 3 wide. You got to know how to navigate 3 wide to get that kind of move done. But that brings out the next caution. All right, so we'll do that right there. Man, Brandon 6, though, still going to have this lead. So we didn't get the mark, though. So we didn't have that caution come out past 20. So we're still going to get one more restart here. Get this kind of sorted out. But everyone looks pretty decent. Again, damage to the left side nose of Medina. Not too bad, though, I don't think. Kind of looking at it now. Yeah, has some damage there. Mealy as well, I believe, was also involved. He was the driver on the inside. Yeah, but I mean, even that car right there looks pretty decent. Some right side scrapes on the front, but not too bad really at all. So a lot of these guys really being able to avoid a lot of these big impact damage, which is nice. Jacob Weiss, quick update for him. Got involved in the incident earlier. Car looks great. Looks like just topping off on fuel here, and off he goes. Tyler Dohar as well, doing the same thing. Pretty good stuff right there. Uh-oh. Blew past the pit box a little bit, but all good. So, Brandon 6 up top still. We're going to get one more restart to go. Might even be a one-lap shootout here, so we're going to find out. Since 24, really the end of 24, beginning of 25 is when the stage is typically thrown. So, we'll see what they decide to do here. But a couple of guys in the front that I really think I want to talk about, too. I mean, Dylan Bates right now in P4 looking very, very good. He was very quick, up front quite a bit, Daytona, also Kansas. Homestead, I believe he had an issue, if I recall, but definitely a guy who I think is capable of winning for sure. So I expect to see Dylan up front and staying up front for a while here. These Bowie Esport boys are pretty quick at Motegi. It was the same way back 2 seasons ago, season 5, last time they came here, and Bowie Esports pretty well dominated. And right now we're going to see maybe the same thing, unless Dylan Bates can stop them. But here we go. Choose rule going to be applied right here. Everyone making their choices. Going to go green on lap 24. So we're going to get a one-lap shootout to decide stage number 1. Fleming right now is still on pit road right here. Looks like he's deciding to maybe take his tires and the fuel now and forego stage 1 kind of pit break, you know, that pitting in between stage 1 and 2. So watch out for Fleming here. Jacob Weiss maybe the same. Grant Salzano. I like this move, right? If you're not going to be in that top 10 to go for those stage points, hell, just get the tires now. You'll barely even use them, and then you'll start in the front of the field for stage 2, get that track position. So not too bad. But here we go. Brandon 6, Brandon Bowie, the top 2 right now. Here we go. One lap shootout here to decide stage number 1. It's going to get crazy. 3 and 4 wide I'm expecting right here. Christian Angel, we're seeing Mealy right in the middle there, looking pretty good. Holding on to his line. Thomas George on the outside lane. Max Brady, though, don't use him up too much. Oh, lordy. In a big wreck right there. That will definitely end stage 1. As Christian Angel, and I believe that was Millerin maybe, who got involved. I believe it was Miller, and Brandon 6 will be your stage 1 winner. Let's go back though and take a look at what just happened. It looked like Brady and Mealy were going to get together just a little bit on the exit of 2, but what actually happened was right behind him. So try and get a better look here once we find it. Already going down right there, so we'll get a better look once more. Yeah, so you'll see it kind of develop here. I'll keep it in slow-mo. So the 5 and the 6 right there up top, I'm thinking they're going to collide because it looks like Brady's coming up a little bit, but Mealy's still kind of there. But then what develops down low is that Thomas George, I think up high, somebody here gets loose or somebody gets, yeah, so they're 3 wide right here. So Mealy does get into the wall there. Yeah, Thomas George gets into the wall really hard. Obviously at that point, Angel and Miller have nowhere to go, and Angel gets the worst out of it. Miller holds his brakes. Looks like he's going to be okay, but might not be crazy damage for that 75 machine, but definitely, unfortunately, a victim of that hard impact right there. Stage 1 break though is here. Brandon 6 is your stage winner. We'll bring him in just a second. A lot of guys coming down pit road. The 4 tires and fuel, as we expected. So far, not too bad. Marshall Harris looks like takes the lead right here. And again, not sure if a couple of these guys are lap down cars looking to get that wave around, but we will sure find out quickly. But right now, a lot going on down. So let's take a quick break. We'll thank a couple sponsors. We'll come right back for the beginning of stage 2. All right, folks, back to Motegi. Twin Ring Motegi, as they call it. Place is pretty cool because on the inside of the track, they have a road course. It actually kind of expands throughout. Reminds me a lot of how Thompson Speedway is configured in Connecticut. And really pretty cool stuff. So right now, though, lap 27, stage 1 has concluded. Brandon 6 was your stage winner. See if we can get him in real quick before we get going. See if we can drag him in real quick. Here he is. Hey, Brandon 6, man. It's Steve in the booth. You got me?
Yeah, how's it going, Steve?
Hey, man. Looking pretty good right now for you. I mean, hey, got the pole. I mean, right now, stage 1. Looking pretty quick. And obviously, we knew you're going to be fast entering this race. So, I mean, how's the track conditions feel? I mean, what are we thinking so far?
Track feels pretty good. It's definitely cooling down right now, so it's going through a transition, so we're definitely going to get faster here as the race goes on. Feeling pretty decent about it. I felt pretty good in practice and leading up to this thing, so I just need to get myself back up front and hopefully I can take a shot at it.
Yes, sir, man. Hey, good luck rest of the way. Hopefully we talk to you later on, man. Good stuff.
Yep, thanks, Steve. Everyone.
There he is. Brandon 6 trying to get his first win of the season right now. Came close last week at Homestead, but just couldn't get it done. Brandon Bowie ended up being that guy. So right now, the leaders, Marshall Harris, John Hagan up front. A couple of guys taking some risks right now, as we can see. So that can happen, though. A couple of guys we saw, like, I mean, right now, right behind him, too, we're seeing Matthew Fleming, Scott Gasorn. A lot of these guys in the front here took tires in their fuel right before that last caution, which in my mind is pretty smart. So let's see what Marshall Harris can do here as the lead car. Lord have mercy on our souls. Oh, we love Marshall. Here we go. Restart for stage 2. Green flag is out. So far, good restart. Right now, we're seeing some 3 and 4 wide action right here. Mike Johnson. Marshall kind of closes that gap a little bit. That was pretty close, but couldn't quite hold on to it for Michael. Back of the pack, always going to be insane on these restarts. Hard braking zone here in 3 on cool tires. Got to be so careful to get through it nice and easy. So far, though, 1 lap in. Looking pretty good. John Hagen making a move right here on the inside of Marshall Harris. Great exit for both of those guys right now. Ooh, a little bit of a bump off the wall there by, I believe it was John Wright. That corner, it's funny how we expect turn 3 to be the hard corner for these guys because of the hard braking, right? But turn 2, the exit, like I mentioned in pre-race, if you don't get it right, it's super tight and you will hit that wall, as we've been seeing. John Hagen now takes the lead right now from Marshall Harris. Marshall going to be on the outside lane now with Whitley now making his move around. Not going to lie, great stuff here by Marshall Harris. Not normally a guy that's in the front of the pack, but really holding his stuff. Good to see. A lot of guys mid-pack in the back of the pack. Brandon Six trying to get through it. Back in the field too. Don't forget about them. A lot of these guys racing hard to get themselves into position. We see Christian Angel still fighting back. Not a whole lot of damage to that car, really. Salvageable for sure. 2 and 3 wide all over the place here. Dohar is still in the back here. Looks pretty slow. I'm really not sure what's going on with this car. But really off pace. 3 wide here. Jonathan Adams. First race in. Welcome in, man. Big crowd here to focus on. Racing pretty well so far. We like to see that. 2 wide, 3 wide for the most part, all throughout the field. Brandon Six right now kind of in that hornet's web. Jacob Weist even making a comeback here. That car looks pretty well clean. Mealy as well. A couple of cautions so far, but really not a whole lot of like big damage, right? Not any big wrecks. So knock on wood for that one. John Hagen though has that lead, and man, he's been looking for this win for a long time. John Hagen. We have a long way to go. I get that, but man, he has come so close. Even this season already has come close to getting that first win. It's not come yet though, but I think it will be pretty soon. Bunch of guys. Mealy gonna make a move here, down low here. Frankie Barroso doesn't quite go for it. Good stuff so far. Outside. Mealy gonna be on the inside here. Looking pretty sharp. Seeing some big moves here. I see one guy falling back a bit. Jesse Necula. Uh-oh, Woodruff and Necula kind of side by side there. Not too bad. Timothy Stubblefield holding on to a 292 machine. Looking pretty solid as we speak. Looking pretty good all around the track, folks. Great racing. Every position matters so much. To try and get yourself into the playoffs. I know it's early, but hey, start thinking about it now because it is a key element to getting yourself into that spot. Michael Johnston in P2, I'll tell you what, he's another guy, just like John Hagen, that has wanted and has come very close to getting a win in this series. Just has not come yet. flights. We know how fast he is and can be. Mark Whitley, the same thing. Really impressive stuff by all these guys. Timothy Harper as well, too. I mean, he's a guy that came into this season and just immediately impressed, right? Because you bring in new guys, and you never know if they're going to be good or bad, right? It's just the risk you take. But I'll tell you what, everybody that I've talked to and ask, oh, yellow flag. Who is it? Looks like Millerin perhaps, and then Thomas Meeks. Oh no, huge damage for Meeks right here, as well as Millerin. Oh lordy, what happened here? Wow, Millerin looks like yet again was a victim of the issue, or so it would seem. Let's take a look back a little bit. Okay, so here we go. Oh, Larson just kind of gives him a shot here. Doesn't let him get up. Ah, man. What's going on there? I want to get one more angle at this. From the camera of Josh Larson. Let's take a look on board, actually. Cockpit view. I mean, Larson just flat wrecks him right there, so I'm not sure why that is. Didn't give him the space, didn't give him any breathing room. Unfortunately, takes out Millerin, but also takes out Thomas Meeks, his teammate. Not sure if that's some bad blood from races before, but that'll be an interesting call later on. Bunch of guys coming down pit road right now, obviously going to be seeing plenty of them. All kinds of pit strategies going on. Lap 40 stage comes out on lap 75, so about 35, 36 laps. It's close. I don't think they can really make it on fuel at this point. Still, if they save intensely, I would say, perhaps. But it's really, really tough, I think, to save that much. But we'll see. I think maybe some can. A lot of these guys, though, doing their thing. So far, though, good racing when we've had it. This track is just not easy, right? It's one of those tracks that you can just expect it to be difficult. A lot of guys, though, up in the front that can make this thing happen. Lap 40, though, not quite over yet. Still have quite a bit of ways to go, obviously. 75 laps. Really, the end of stage 2 will be the halfway point. So we're getting there, folks. Not too bad. Big thanks, folks, to you guys for hanging out right now on a Tuesday night for ASRA Harpoon Design Cup Series. Right now doing the international race at Motegi. Not typically an oval that you see on the schedule. So real world NASCAR used to go here. I believe it was 1998 was what was the date? I think Jeff Gordon won it. But the track still exists, I believe. Could be wrong on that. But yeah, pretty cool place. and did this race back in season 5, and it was pretty good. You know, it was fun, something different, right? You know, besides the traditional, you know, American ovals, but this is pretty cool. I wish there were some more ovals internationally that we could go to in the sim, but you never know. A lot more could be happening soon, but never know what is up iRacing sleeve. Either way, though, we're going to go back green here on lap 42. Nick Lights and John Hagen are going to be the front 2, followed by Smecker, Whitley, and then Bowie in the top 5. So a bunch of guys going to be trying different things, I would imagine. Right now, I mean, if we get one more caution, they might be able to save the fuel, you know, under those pace laps, but if it goes green, I really think they're going to have to still pit. So we'll see how this works out on lap 42. But here we go. Restart on lap 42 right now. Coming out for our 4th caution of the day. John Hagen, Nick Lights. Going to be getting us back going here. Huge restart right there for John Hagen. Man, really got going early. Almost too early. We couldn't quite see the beginning of that, but hey, great job for John Hagen. Everyone, though, in this front pack looking really, really good. If these guys can figure out turn 2, I've got a feeling we're going to see a great race in the second half. Everyone getting down to it. I'm starting to see these guys really kind of figure out turn 3, though, which is nice. Max Brady right now 3 wide. Looks like that Frankie Barroso might be pulling back just a bit. Michael Johnson trying to challenge Smecker right there, decides not to. At least for the time being. Bowie, I think, is on fresh tires because he is coming. But good stuff, though, right now. Michael Johnson up to P4. Right behind him, a couple of guys looking to get some good spots. Nekula, man, got real loose right there after turn 4. Keeps it going. Currently in that 10th spot. Brandon 6 really kind of sending it right there. 3 wide. Made it work pretty well. Max Brady doing the same thing just about. Got to be careful, obviously. Aggression can definitely be a good thing, especially on fresh tires, right? Because that's when the fresh tires can work out the best for you. But man, you don't want to be so aggressive that it brings something like this out, a yellow flag. Oh, Andrew Phipps. Started so well on top of the field. I believe P2, actually. But this is right here, folks. What can happen? What can happen when you're in the back? Let's take a look at what happened here to Andrew Phipps. It looks like it might just be a solo incident. Take a look here. Oh! Man. I don't think I saw any contact right there, but try and get a better angle. Yeah, so here we go. So we're going to see Andrew Phipps here. Oh, Andrew's already loose. Yeah. He lost it in the braking zone. Turn 3. And just that was it. Unfortunately for Andrew Phipps, man. Just really, really fast. The bad luck kind of continues. I mean, found himself in the back, I'm guessing maybe to save fuel and try and ride it up, but just missed that braking zone a little bit. And around he goes. Heartbreak right there for Phipps. Might be okay, though. I mean, the front end is bad, but it's probably salvageable. We'll see. Long race, can still get the points. We'll find out for sure. We'll step aside, folks, for sure right now. Thanks to some sponsors. We'll come back in just a second. Working lap 46 out of 150.
Fancy like Husky, fancy like Husky, fancy like Husky, fancy like Doggy bowl empty, Vegas pool sleeping, rug pull, cash grab, NFTs delight, rug pull, cash grab, idiot.
All right, back at it, folks, for Motegi. We're back for the international race here for the ASRA Harpoon Design Cup Series. Race number 4 already. Already a month into Season 7. Been pretty eventful, some really good races, and all different winners so far. So, gonna get the choose situation right here. High line, low line. All kinds of good stuff. There's our partners. Big thanks to them, obviously. Premier Racing Setups, Harpoon Design, Admin Box, Hosky.io. Great people. I think right here, too, this is the caution that I think we talked about a second ago, where I think this definitely helps a lot of these guys trying to save the fuel. Because most of these guys pit about 34, 35 laps before the stage is going to end. So I think they can make it if they get cautions like this. If they don't, we'll see. I think this is going to make them even closer. I still think if there's no green flag, or if it doesn't go green up until lap 75, I think we still have to pit. We'll see how this plays out, obviously, but so far, so good. Michael Johnson, Jackson Anderson going to be the top row. Brady and Necula in row 2. So, going to get this thing back going right here. Get this thing fired up. Here we go. Restart on lap 49. Just about 100 laps to go in this race. Green flag going to be out. And we're off. Inside line, it's a great jump right there. Michael Johnson. Anderson and Necula on the outside. Not as good. 3, 4, 5, I don't know, 6 wide maybe? We'll see. It's like turn 1 at Pocono. It can be crazy. Bowie not giving up right there. Really slows it down. Wow, got that thing turned down quickly. Back to the field, too. Look at this. 3 wide in the back. Josh Sobel doing a pretty good job right now. 31st spot. Trying to get himself back to the front of the field here. Millerin as well, making that work. And this place is again, it's wide. Look at how wide this is. You can really make 3 wide work here, but you can't make it so tight. That's when the guys get in trouble. Dirty air especially really hurts these cars. So far, good stuff though. Michael Johnson up front. Max Brady And again, another one, right? Max Brady, a guy who's been here for about a season and a half now and hasn't won a race, but is extremely good and very, very fast. Just hasn't gotten that done yet. So can he win today? Today be his day. All kinds of stories can unfold here for sure. Harper going to be on the outside here right now of David Medina. Both of these guys having a great race so far. Ooh, real loose there for Frankie Barroso. Josh Larson, excuse me, in the back right there. Kept it going. Out of turn 2. Still kind of loose right here. A little bit wiggly. Then now we're seeing 3 wide behind him. Good stuff right now. Jonathan Adams on the outside lane. Oh no, Mark Whitley with a massive hit onto the outside wall. That was a really, really hard hit. Let's see if we can see the damage on the outside. Yeah, on the right side there, some damage. That might not be catastrophic, but he hit the wall a ton out of turn 2. We talked about it. That can happen. You gotta really be careful of the exit. Marshall Harris still making it work on the outside. Harper as well. And I can't say enough right now. Marshall Harris doing a great job right here. A lot of these guys in the front really are doing great, but Marshall Harris is a standout right now. In P8, holding his line, making it work. Very impressive stuff here from Marshall Harris. Not too far back to Medina and Frankie Barroso back here as well. And John Hagan. A couple of guys that we know are fast. Frankie and John Hagan out kind of in the back right here, mid-pack. You know, when do they make their move back to the front? Are they saving fuel? Are they holding on to it, right? Stage 2 is definitely the most unique in this format, as it's just long enough where you need fuel. Either way, though, fantastic. As we talked about it, Max Brady got to move around Michael Johnson. That's going to be for P1. And right now, Brady, Johnson, Anderson, 6, and Crawford. I haven't talked much about Crawford today either yet, but he's had a quiet day so far. He's kind of just been in that pack. You know, been in the front, but not in the very front. Trying to make a move now into Brandon 6. Down, comes up a little bit. Gotta be careful. You get tight like that, you really gotta know how to assess the driver next to you. How you drive this track by yourself versus somebody side by side is so different. Because it really just depends on, you know, who's around you, obviously, how close they are. Gotta be careful. Austin Salyers looking at another great run today. Man, came so close at Kansas to winning. Got passed by Smecker with, I believe, 2 laps to go. And, hey, didn't give him any kind of shot. As we see Mark Whitley now making a move down of Smecker. Looking good here, might make that move. So that car might not be as damaged as we thought it was. We saw him hit the wall quite a bit, I'm not gonna lie, but he might be okay. Tim Robb now doing the same thing. Pulling out. Getting that car woed down for turn 3. And the nice thing about this right now, in Brandon 6 kind of alluded to it, as we're seeing a move here for P2. 6 was talking about how the track is cooling down now, so it's not going to be as tight, and the guys can definitely do a little bit better about controlling that car, so that's going to be a good thing for sure. Anderson, the same thing, making a move down low here. Johnson might have used up his stuff a little bit here. Can't quite tell, or maybe he's just realizing that the fuel really is that close. A lot of things can be going down here, but great stuff in and around this top 10. Back of the field, a couple of guys right now. Joshua Sobel Grant Salzano. This is about 33rd to 34th right here. Tyler Dohar still in the back. Maybe he's just kind of chilling, you know? Maybe he's just saying, you know what? I'm going to save my tires and save fuel for stage 3. And quite frankly, if that is the case, I love that. I love that idea. And we'll see if that really is the case come stage 3. Jacob Weist, maybe the same thing. We saw him up there in that top 15. 36th spot. I've got a feeling it's not where he actually is going to reside at the end of this race. Daryl Young, currently in 30th. Too bad. Jonathan Wright, again, was in the back, or was in the front, actually. And big movement here, actually. We're seeing pretty close to this pack. Kenny Reel and Jeremy Millerin looking pretty solid. New paint here for Kenny Reel. Another product of Harpoon Designs. You can't ever go wrong with them, man. Just so good. Always good paints. Saw some smoke a second ago. These guys really fighting for it right here. This is for about 23rd spot, give or take. Scott Casorn not too far back right there in that Busch Light machine. Dylan Banks as well, or Dylan Banks, excuse me, as well. A lot of these guys fighting for every spot they can. A little shot right there from Scott Casorn in the back of that pink 91. These boys got to be careful. This is sometimes, if you're new to racing, folks, this can be where the racing is the hardest. It's about 20th on back. I mean, it's just so different. The air is different. Just how the cars handle, right? Because everyone's around you. It's a whole different beast than running up in the top 10. Top 20, 25 spots will always be the toughest racing out of all these guys because it's just so difficult to get yourself out of that situation. Christian Angel, quick update, looking pretty good right now after his pretty big wreck, actually, on the inside wall with Millerin. Has the front end pretty well clean, it looks like. Don't see a whole lot of damage. And hit the wall, the inside wall, pretty hard, honestly. So not too bad there for Angel. Looking pretty slick. Brandon Six ended up making that move around Max Brady, and right now Brandon Bowie the same thing. So the usual suspects from stage 1 creeping their way up to stage 2 right now. As Six and Bowie now lead the race, 1 and 2. Max Brady P3, Jackson Anderson 4th, and then John Hagan with that speedy car. Uh-oh. Just saw some smoke on the track. I'm not sure if that was Anderson getting loose. Judging by the closing gap of Hagan, I think it was. But man, great recovery again for that 83. Fantastic stuff so far, folks. Lap 64, about 10 laps to go, really, at the line. As right now, about P10. This is kind of getting heated up right now. Frankie Barroso, Mark Whitley on the outside lane. Harper as well. Looking pretty dicey right now. Harper looking pretty impressive still. Smecker not too far back, though. Let's get an in-car, though, of Devin Smecker if we can. It's a great time right here for a Hosky hot lap. Right in the middle of all the action. Mark Whitley to his left. Harper in front. Frankie Barroso in the back. How does he navigate this? Coming down turn 3 right here. Downshifts hard. Still in fourth gear. Not deciding to go into that third gear just yet. Mark, though, makes a great move. Passes 2 cars in 1 lap. But Devin really holding on to it quite well. Holding a pretty wheel. Oh, yellow flag that was out. 6th caution. And that is what these guys wanted for sure. If they wanted to hold on to their fuel strategy. Let's go and take a look. What happened? Oh, it looks like Josh Larson potentially. Take a look here. So Josh Larson got the favor returned, it looks like, from Millerin. Didn't really hurt Josh Larson, though. He kept it going. He probably saw no damage from that. Not sure if that was a little bit of payback from Milleren's end, but if so, definitely understandable. But the joke might be with, or the last laugh might be with Larson, because no damage on that 54 machine. So that can happen, folks. Tempers already. Race number 4. If that's any indication of how the season's gonna go, man, I'm here for it, because you know, if you're gonna pay a guy back, okay, you know, but don't wreck anybody else. And unfortunately, when you know, when Milleren went around the first time, a lot of these guys had that issue, and Meeks got the worst end of it. So a couple of guys here coming down pit road. Interestingly enough, Brandon 6 gonna be coming down here. I think he's thinking, you know what? I won stage 1, don't need stage 2. I'm going to set myself up for a proper stage 3. Or maybe he gets fresh tires here and just blows through the field to win stage 2. We'll see. Don't count out Nick Lights. Frankie Barroso right here as well. Thomas George, another guy who's extremely quick. Just needs that opportunity to make it happen. Austin Salyers as well. A bunch of these guys really impressive. Grant Salzano. Andrew Phipps actually still on track, it looks like. Get confirmation of that in just a minute. Yeah, so William Griffith, 11 laps down. A quick update on him. That 15 machine. Thomas Meeks, Jacob Emery out of the race. But Phipps is in the pit, so he might make a return. We will see. We'll catch you up on that once we see it. But Daryl Young off pit road. Grant Salzano still going to be repairing that damage. So not too bad by these guys. Front of the pack right now, Brandon Bowie, Max Brady, Jackson Anderson, John Hagan, and Blaze Crawford. Lap 68. So should go green here at about lap 70. I have about a 5-lap shoot up before we get to stage 2. So we'll step aside real quick, folks. Thanks some of our friends. We'll come right back.
Fancy like Husky, fancy like Husky, fancy like Husky, fancy like Doggy bowl empty, Lakers pool sleeping, rug pull, cash grab, NFTs delight, rug pull, cash grab, idiot.
All right, folks, we are back right now to race day. Huge thanks to you folks for being here, supporting us and supporting the ASRA. A lot of cool things coming our way. Big thanks to our folks here, obviously, on the board right there as our partners. Lots of cool stuff always happening in and around ASRA as well as race day. But right now, we're going to go back green flag racing momentarily here. We're going to go back to lap 71. So once the lap 75 waves, we will be calling stage 2, but if a caution comes up before then, that will be the stage end. So Brandon Bowie there looking to get a stage win, or I mean Anderson, Hagan, right? A lot of these guys looking to do that. A couple of guys chose to come down pit road, like Brandon 6, Dohar, Whitley, Smecker, all these guys. So they're not going for that stage. I think they're going to try and go for a better setup to stage 3. So We'll see how that shakes up. But we know we're going to get a different Stage 2 winner here now. So let's get it going. 4 laps to go to decide Stage 2. Here we go. Pace car going to pull off right now. Going to get this thing back going. Let's do a proper green flag right now. Flagman has it in the air. And Brandon Bowie leads us off on the inside lane. And Max Brady on the outside. Great jump by a lot of these guys right now. Really, really tight there for Max Brady. On the outside, really pressuring Bowie. Bowie kind of comes up a little bit. Might have hit that apron. And good stuff all around right now. Bowie might be in trouble here. Looking very fast. Bowie kind of sending Max Brady up. Oh my word. The aggression already to get that stage win. But Jackson Anderson, look out. He's right there. Trying to make this thing work. Can Jackson get this thing done and challenge Brandon Bowie? Season 3 winner and last week's winner at Homestead. So far, impressive stuff from Anderson. And Hagen's right there, too. Don't forget about him. Harper bounces off the wall right there, as well as Angel. Scott Cosshorn, these guys are all playing ping pong right now. Holy. They all keep it straight, though. Great job. End of the stages. That'll do that to people. Hagen got way out right there. Trying that Pocono straightaway trick right there. Anderson making it work. Still sticking it to him. Anderson might be clear here. Not quite. Bowie trying. And Jackson's clear. Great stuff. A couple more guys. Dylan Bates right here. All for this top 10 right now. Michael Johnson. David Medina actually holds that top 10 spot. So everyone's fighting to get to at least right there, to get to that stage and to get those stage points. Everyone behind. Kind of relaxing, but here we go. Lap 74. This is the white flag of stage 2, and Jackson Anderson really, really impressive right now. Holding off, getting past Max Brady and Brandon Bowie. Racing past them to get this stage win is massive. What an accomplishment, honestly. To get around Bowie, Hagen, Brady, Dylan Bates. Impressive stuff for the young kid. Here he is, Jackson Anderson, stage 2 winner. Gonna cross the line. Good stuff right there. Yellow flag came out a bit late for that, but all good. It came out nonetheless. So Jackson Anderson going to be your stage 2 winner here today. Man, awesome stuff for Jackson Anderson to win that stage. We'll bring him in here momentarily. We'll go and thank our partners real fast. Then we'll come back and talk to him and get us back going for stage 3.
Fancy like Husky, fancy like Husky, fancy like Husky, fancy like Doggy bowl empty, Lakers pool sleeping, rug pull, cash grab, NFTs delight, rug pull, cash grab, idiot.
All right, welcome back, folks, to the international race for ASRA. We're going to bring in Jackson Anderson right now, Stage 2 winner. If we can sneak him in real fast once we find him here. Where is Jackson Anderson? Here he is. Here he is, Jackson Anderson, man. Hey, what an impressive move to just work your way and drive around Brandon Bowie as well as Max Brady to get Stage 2 done, man. Hey, how do you feel, dude? How'd it go for you?
I could really suck here. I don't know how I did it. To be honest.
I mean,
I
hey,
really don't know.
Honestly, it's all good, man. How's the car feel? How's the race feeling for you? What do you think your chances are?
The only thing that saved me, I think, was taking right sides after stage 1, because the car felt great all day, I guess. I don't know. Practice wasn't really good.
Yeah, all good, man. Either way, a stage point right there. Very, very... playoff point, excuse me. Already have that win from the, Daytona, so... Looking pretty good, man. Good luck rest of the way.
Thank you.
There he is. Jackson Anderson. Not really sure what to say, but it's always funny. All good. Next up, Stage 3. And this is typically where we've seen our best racing so far in this series. I mean, listen, we're going to admit it, right? Stages, yeah, they're urgent. They, you know, it can be crazy and aggressive and all kinds of stuff, but I really think this is the time where we're going to see some really, really good stuff. Right now. So we're going to go back green here. Looks like maybe on laps 80, actually. We'll go back green for the stage. Everyone choosing what lane they want to choose right now. All kinds of stuff going on here, so. Making their choices. The sun is definitely going down. The funny part about it is that there's no lights here. There are for the road course, but not for the oval. So, we can look at real quick the front end of Brandon 6. You'll kind of see it. Still plenty of available light left, as they say, so not too worried about it, but definitely going to be going down here. We are past the halfway point at this point, so hey, it's only up from here, so looking pretty good. Going to get this thing wrapped up. A lot going on here, so fun stuff so far. Big thanks again, folks, for you for being here, supporting the channel, obviously supporting the league. Hit that like button, subscribe button, you know what to do. Appreciate it. Getting really close to 1,000 subs, actually. I think we just hit 765, so we're definitely getting there. It's all thanks to you, so let's get it right now. Brandon 6, Nick Light's going to be on the front here. And keep in mind, these guys didn't pit right there at the end of stage 2, so I think these guys have some a bit older tires, but they're going to have that track position, and I think that is key for them, so let's get it. Every time we try to bring the noise, we get that caution. But here we go, lap 81. I believe that was Grant Salzano who got involved in that. It was a white car for sure. We'll go back and take a look at a minimum. Might have gotten spun around there. Looks like a white car. Could be wrong here, but maybe Necula, based off of what I'm seeing here. Oh, yeah, these guys all got tangled up together. Not too much damage there for the 51, actually, but I do believe Salzano got some as well. Try and rewind a bit further back. We'll have to go even further These guys got together pretty early in this. Here we go. So, yeah, the 14 checks up there for Frankie Barroso. Just had nowhere to go. Matthew Fleming down there as well. Kenny Reel got some left front damage there. A couple of these guys. Yeah, right into that wall. Oh, man. Yeah. Not a whole lot where Grant could have gone, but Tough Racing can definitely do that. Looks like these two definitely got hit right there. So, crazy. And another one. Bumper just goes right back onto it. So, a lot of these guys today getting lucky with that damage. Not too bad. That'll bring out our 6th, I believe, caution of the day. 8th, excuse me. 6th for incident, but 8 including the stages. So not too bad. A couple of damages there for Grant, as well as Nicula as well. So a bunch of guys coming down pit road, going to be fixing their cars. We'll get back to the action. Bunch of guys still up front now that we expect typically, right? Brandon 6, Nick Lights, Whitley, Smrecker. We did see Whitley hit the outside wall pretty hard in turn 2 during stage number 2. So, but again, doesn't look like it's that hurt, which is nice. We're seeing Mealy up front, which is great. Smrecker, Nick Lights. Man, all of Murphy Esports right now is actually on a tear. All in the top 5, so good to see there. Miller and Hagen, Marshall Harris up to P8. So a lot of these guys looking pretty good. Couple more coming down pit road here. Harper, Dohar. Is there going to be enough sunlight left? Yeah, there should be. It might be close, but it's all good. That is pretty funny, though. Yes, there should be enough sunlight. Should be about... It'll be close. It'll definitely... Sun will be definitely going down, but sometimes we got to make it interesting, you know? So, front of the field, still Brandon 6, Nick Lights right behind him in P2. So we'll get this thing back going here momentarily. Coming up next week is going to be the start of our first same state showdown. A lot of fun that we always do. Every season we have 2 tracks that are in the same state, but kind of back to back, right? So next week we go to Chicagoland, and then the week after, Chicago Street. So the Chicago Street course will be a lot of fun. Both of those tracks will be a blast. So Chicagoland we haven't gone to in quite a while. I think the last time we had one there was the All-Star race of season 4, I want to say. 4 or 5. So I expect a lot of fun there. Another 1.5, but the outside line is pretty killer if you can make it work. And then Chicago Street, we all know, is a lot of fun as well. So our first road course, second road course later on, will be a part of the second same state showdown later on in the regular season with Auto Club and Long Beach. So 2 California tracks. Going to be a lot of fun. Right now, though, going to get back going. Lap 85. We are in stage 3, so no more planned cautions, no more scheduled. So right now, we're going to just get it all the way to the checkered. Right here. 6 in light is going to be leading us off. Here we go. What can these guys get it right now? Going back green. Here we go. Green flag. Lots of hustle already. But again, when the restarts happen, the tires definitely cool down, and right now they got to be careful. Turn 3 right here could be treacherous once again. So far, so good by these boys. Oh, up front, a couple of guys there. Who was that? I think it was Josh Larson, potentially, who got involved into the wall there. And Marshall Harris right there on the outside as well, right behind Blaze Crawford. A lot of these guys still trying to make it work. Right now, great move right here. Hagen trying to avoid here Dylan Bates. Man, good stuff right here. 2 wide, lap 88 right now. Everyone getting to the end right here. Max Brady in the middle of that 28. Jonathan Adams, and really a pretty good debut for Jonathan Adams. He's right now in 20th spot, but has had a pretty good race. Pretty clean. That will definitely happen. Front of the field, Brandon Sick still holding off right now. Nick Lights in P2. 3rd spot, Devin Smecker. Man, again, a guy who was way in the back earlier on. Again, I think this is part of the plan, right? Working his way up, managing the stages the right way. And there he is. A couple more guys too. Frankie Barroso, Mark Whitley, currently in P7 and 8. And pretty strong. Millerin on the inside here of Blaze Crawford, trying to make it stick right there as well. And Brandon Bowie's trying to sneak his way back to the front. Millerin kind of leaning on Bowie right here. I know Bowie's not going to take that for too much longer. Sometimes the aggressive driving has to happen to get that position. Millerin, though, has that preferred lane on the inside line. Might clear him right here on the exit. All right, lap 93, still working. Stage number 3. And again, right now, a lot of these guys back to the field too. We're seeing some guys. Thomas George actually coming down pit road here. Not sure if this is an early strat call, but looking pretty decent. we'll watch him as we go. But back at the field, Jonathan Wright, James Kaufman still working their lines here. Kenny Reel making a move. Oh no, Kenny Reel into Richard Woodruff. What was Kenny thinking right there? Sent it way too hard into Richard Woodruff. Man. Got to be careful there, Kenny Reel. That is going to create an enemy for Richard, I can guarantee it. Miller, the big issue right here on the high line. Out of shape, but I don't see any damage right there, so might have had contact with somebody else. As now we see Thomas George getting back onto the track. Back up front, though, as all that chaos in the back unfolds. Right now, we're seeing some great racing. Tim Robb down low. Michael Johnson still trying to make his way back to the front. We saw Fleming. He was one of the guys who in stage one didn't take or took the tires right before the caution came out for the stage. So far, a really, really good job by these guys. Still trying to get back to the front. Just outside of the top 10. And I'll tell you what, a top 10 in this field is a really good day. So if you can finish top 10 for all these boys, that can be very, very good. Front of the field, actually, Nick Lights pulls out in front of Brandon Six. So that's interesting right there. Nick Lights making the move around. I wonder if that's just Brandon Six saying, you know what? Yeah, sure, go ahead. Run your stuff off in a couple laps. I'll be just fine. Either way, Nick Lights going to be leading this race. And a great job so far for Nick. Well, we have actually, you know what? Let's just ride on board. See if we can get a quick Hosky hot lap in right now. As we see the track conditions change just about lap 100. About the 2/3 mark entering right now in stage 3. Take a look right now. We're seeing out of turn 2. Yeah, that sun right there about to be setting shortly. And some obviously a lot of cautions. Yeah, see there it is. So sunlight is definitely diminishing. Track conditions are changing. Starting to get a little nervous if the sun is going to go down too soon before we have the end of the race, but obviously a lot of cautions can sometimes manipulate, that. So if we go green the rest of the way, we shouldn't have any issues. But hey, we might end this thing almost at night, even though we have no lights. But it's all good. Sometimes we make those mistakes, but you don't also expect 8 cautions plus. So all good. But right now, lap 99 taking lap 100 in just a second. We're going to be cutting it close in more ways than one. We're looking pretty solid so far. Six going to try and make a move right back again here for that spot. And makes it happen. This might be one of those New Hampshire races from back in, was it 2021? Where Eric Almirola won because of the light going down. Might have to call it early by 10, 15 laps if we have to, but hey, that happens. Right now, Brandon Six, though, really making it work. Sticking it, gets it going. In third spot, as Brandon Six takes that lead, by the way. Back again. John Hagan still maintains that third spot. Looking pretty sharp. Right now, though, great job for Hagan. Mealy. I feel like Mealy's really having kind of a career day. I mean, he's done really well in races before. But, man, right now, especially in that W3i software machine, looking very, very good. Up to P4. I mean, just incredible run for Joseph. He can really put the time in, so hopefully this translates to a really good finish for him. Really good stuff. Frankie Barroso right now has made his way back up. Brandon Bowie as well, kind of lurking behind. Immediately right there. Dylan Bates looking strong. Up to P7. Very good run. Blaze Crawford kind of having, again, a quiet day, but 8th spot. Anderson, your stage 2 winner. Locking down 9th place. And then Jonathan Adams, look at this. First race. Maybe a first top 10. Looking great right there in that 28. Very impressive stuff for these boys. Millerman comes down pit road here, our first taker. And again, we expect these guys to pit twice in this round for fuel. At a minimum, they'll probably take tires as well for sure, at least one stop, but a lot of these guys will be taking a couple different ones. But field's pretty well spread out. And this is what we want to see for green flag racing. So good stuff as we continue kind of through the field here. Michael Johnson to P11. Kind of tasted the lead there for a bit in stage 1, but just couldn't quite hold on to it. Either way, they're making a great run. Matthew Fleming in 12th, continuing what has already been a great season so far. Really consistent. I mean, last season for Fleming, really not what he wanted. Ended up being a top 8 driver in the playoffs, but through consistency. But right now has had a really, really good lead. With that, a good start to the season. Christian Angel, even after his damage early on, looks very, very good. The front end of that car looks pretty clean still. Got the damage fixed. Seeing Nick Lights come down pit road, actually. This is from P2. An early taker for Nick Lights. Least as well. 18th right now. Scott Casorn. So a lot of guys right here who are having really pretty good days. Awesome to see. But Nick Lights, we expect him to take the 4 tires and fuel right here. There he goes. Here comes 6. Kind of forced right there by Nick Lights to come down now because you don't want to be out there too long. Nick Lights will definitely be faster on the fresh tires. Really good stuff right here. Lap 106. We're winding this thing down pretty quick. And John Hagen currently has the lead once again. Obviously, these guys have to pit still, so don't get too excited. But a lot can still happen here, as we're starting to see. Frankie Barroso comes down. Michael Johnson, Christian Angel. And the nice thing too, this pit stop is that Jonathan Wright crashed. Oh no, I was just about to say that pit road here is kind of difficult. It's really pretty hard because it starts right after turn 4 and it's quite shallow. So this will change quite a bit. Everyone who just pit might be in trouble here. Let's take a look. I think also William Griffith got involved as well. Let's see if we can find out. So yeah, tries to come down and just avoids, and just misses it. Just flat misses it for JD Wright. Car's in good shape, but did the same thing that Jackson Anderson did actually in Kansas a couple weeks back. Just kind of missed pit road entry and got it loose. I want to go back once more because Griffith was also involved. I believe he was avoiding Wright. Yeah, just kind of takes himself out in the process, unfortunately. That's not what caused the yellow. Jonathan Wright sideways on track was definitely the cause, but Griffith already 11 laps down. That can happen, but unfortunate. So this changes the game quite a bit. All the guys who didn't pit a second ago now have to pit, and they can do it safely. So lap 108, yeah, you can see how that turns right there. It's a really, really tight entrance. You gotta be super conservative to get onto pit road. But here we go. Pit stops right now for everybody who didn't just come down pit road. We'll wait and see. We saw Brandon Six, Nick Lights, all those guys. The leaders came down pit road already, so they might have been trapped a lap down. We'll see what happens here. But all the leaders so far who didn't pit are now coming. And we saw this kind of in Kansas, really, where Kansas, there was a late race caution, and man, it got pretty dicey. So we'll see how this thing can end. All these guys, though, taking their tires and fuel. We'll see how this thing shapes up in just a second. But good stuff right now. James Kaufman being shown as the leader, but we'll wait and see how that racks up, as there's probably going to be some guys who are tail end lead lap guys and are going to get that wave around. So we'll come right back, folks. Thanks some sponsors, and we'll come back for the beginning of the restart.
Fancy like Husky, fancy like Husky, fancy like Husky, fancy like Doggy bowl empty, Vegas pool sleeping, rug pull, cash grab, NFTs delight, rug pull, cash grab, idiot.
All right, folks, welcome back to race day. This is the ASRA International race. About to get this thing back going right now. 40 laps to go here at the line. Working our 9th caution based on an incident with Jonathan Wright trying to get onto pit road for green flag pit stops. A lot of these guys trying to get themselves into shape right here. Everyone has made the choose right here. Pace car going to be pulling up, and looks like James Kaufman going to be your leader. Pretty cool right there. So looks like that cutoff we were talking about, you know, man, that yellow came out at a pretty weird time. It looks like it worked out here for Brandon Six, who wasn't a lap down based on when the yellow came out, but looks like Nick Lights was, or at least based on what I'm seeing here. So Nick Lights 26th spot. Max Brady down there as well, Smecker. So a lot of those guys got the short end of the stick as that yellow came out. So either way, let's see what they can do. Dohar, though, worked out beautifully for him and Kaufman. So what can these two boys do right now? Restarting. 38 laps to go here. Kaufman and Dohar lead us off. Dohar did not get a great jump at all. Outside line really struggling. Now we're going to see 3 wide entering turn 1 here. Brandon Six going to make short work maybe of James Kaufman. Dylan Bates tries to push it 3 wide right there aggressively. So far they're all making it work right now. James Kaufman actually pulls off right here. Not sure if he doesn't trust himself in the front. That comes down pit road. Okay. Bit of a strat call right there for Kaufman. So right now we're seeing the front be the top three of Bowie Esports. Jonathan Adams really making an impression right now, and Dylan Bates as well. What can these guys do? Can they get up to this front three? And can they challenge Bowie Esports? I think they can. A little bit loose right there for Austin Salyers. Got loose in turn 3. Kept it going though. Good job for holding on to it. Seeing Michael Johnson going to go on the inside here, maybe of Jacob Weist. Good move right there. Oh, Jacob Weist gets into Austin Salyers. Not sure if he didn't know he was 3 wide, but he was. Tough racing. Like I said before, man, that middle to back pack is an absolute war zone. It can be. It's so tough to get yourself out of it. Unless you do some kind of pit strategy or something like that, right? So, right now, good stuff for this top 10, really. Seeing Kenny Reel up here and P10. Tim Robb with a great performance right now. Medina. Look at this 3 wide here. Mark Whitley trying to shove it in the middle. His teammate Sobel on the outside here. And by the way, Sobel, a great run. Up to 13th right now, looking very good. Strong effort here. So right now, a quick update too. Lap 116, so these guys are going to have to definitely pit once more for fuel. So we can expect that, absolutely. Tires, I would expect they would come down to take the tires as well, but we will see. Kaufman going to rejoin the field here. Right now, a pretty good run by these guys. So we expected some green flag runs, and I think we're going to get them for sure. But man, that transition into pit road, it honestly wasn't something I really thought about until it actually happens, but it's pretty deadly. We're seeing Stubblefield way outside right here in turn 1. Oh, Smecker, I think, is going to get turned here by Brady. Oh my word. Hold on to it, buddy. Woo! Dude, what an incredible save by Smecker. I think Brady just got to him just a little bit by a hair. And Smecker, Smecker gives him a shot right there. You see that indent on the back end. Devin not happy. The Kansas race winner already locked into the playoffs with that win. But man, that right there was a close call for Smecker and Brady. But that's the tough part, right? I mean, 2 great guys, Brady and Smecker. We know how fast they are. In 26th and 27th. That's the frustration about being down there so hard. Nick Lights was in P2 and right now down to 16th. Getting back through though. And through the field. Looking pretty sharp. Nick Lights, this is right on board actually. We see the track lights coming on right now, which is pretty funny. Let's see what it looks like from his view in the cockpit. We'll do the Husky hot lap. Yeah, you can see it right there. A lot of light starting to kind of go away right now. But there are lights here. Interesting. Didn't think there were actually, but see some lights right there in the front stretch and a couple on the sides there. So we might be cooking with gas here. Either way, 30 laps to go. Sunset definitely kicking in. This is going to turn into a race that we didn't expect to see, but hey, that could happen. Wasn't playing like this. It's all good. A lot of the cautions, that can happen too, right? I mean, you don't really plan for 9 cautions. So you expect the race to go a little bit better than that, but either way, we're going to get this thing going. Lap 121. Based on strategy, race control could decide to call this a little early. You know, give them kind of a leeway, right? You know, say, hey, you know, right now it's lap 121, but, you know, on lap 140, we're going to call it, right? They could do that. I don't know that we'll see that necessarily. I think there's still enough light to make this work, unless it goes pitch black, which I think at that point we're kind of stuck. But either way, interesting conditions here as we're seeing it. Cars definitely probably feel pretty decent. Let's ride on board Dylan Bates, actually, who's got that bright pink machine. Yeah, definitely still enough light to race. I think if it were to be pitch black right now, I think that would be definitely something that probably couldn't do, but right now looking pretty good. Up front, Brandon 6th, Frankie Barroso in P2. And I'll tell you what, these cars definitely are going to be feeling different now. They didn't practice for twilight or sunset conditions, and man, it definitely came quicker than we expected. Normally when the sessions are made, we, you know, kind of calculate when the sun's going to set and things like that, but could have been an error in creating the session, or obviously just things took longer than we expected. So that can happen. Luckily, Motegi kind of has lights. Definitely adds an interesting narrative to the situation. A lot of these guys, they're looking pretty good. 2 wide and 3 wide. Official word from race control says we're going to go the whole way, so we're going to do it. We have to see 25 laps to go, so yeah, not a lot of time left, but everyone knows pretty well spread out. Going to get harder and harder to see. Can't wait to see the Discord channel after this, making fun of me. As far as making the session, but it's all good. Hey, we're all allowed to goof once in a while, so forgive me in advance. A couple of guys, though, single file for the most part. David Medina looking pretty sharp. I mean, this is a race where, you know, Motegi, I kind of expected these guys to kind of struggle. Not necessarily, you know, because they're not, you know, capable or whatnot, but it's just because it's a tough track and it's a tough environment. It's not really one of those places that you go to all the time, and you know, for multiple leagues or whatever it is. So right now, though, we're seeing some great racing. A couple of cautions, obviously, but it is difficult. Hard braking zone tracks. Typically, you'll see that 3 and 4 especially, but obviously, you know, bouncing off the wall, just like oof, just like Max Brady did right there. Ouch. That will do it. A couple more guys coming down pit road. Brandon Bowie down pit road. This is, so now we're within the fuel range, right? 23 laps to go. We are well within the fuel range. So these guys, do they come down to pit now? And it seems like they do. Bowie making that call right now to come down pit road, as well as a couple more guys. So we'll see. Timothy Harper, I'm hearing him kind of put it in neutral here. Jonathan Adams comes down pit road. There he is. Love that Cyberpunk machine, man. Haven't played that game yet, but I want to. It's making me do it for sure. Looking pretty good. A lot of these guys, the backstretch doesn't have as many lights as the rest of them. All right now, sorry about that, working with race control right now to see what we do about the lights. It definitely went down way closer than we anticipated. Again, sometimes, you know, you kind of think about, you know, certain races and how things work out. Yellows, obviously, a lot of them coming down, and that can't happen. We don't want to screw, for lack of a better word, pit strategy, so we're not going to call it early. We're going to call it at about lap 140. But right now, you know what? We're already in deep. Let's just see how deep we can get. You know what I mean? Here we go. Frankie Barroso up front in the front of the field. Let's take a ride on board, actually, and see how dark it's going. Oh, Lordy. We're getting pretty dark right now, but it is all good. There's still time. 19 laps to go. There should be enough time to squeak in the end of this race, if there is. Brandon 6 down pit road right now, too. There's plenty of light on the front stretch here. Back stretch, though, not too much. Let's take a ride on board, actually. Joseph Mealy. This is going to make an interesting hot lap. Here we go. Take a look at what they're expecting right now. So down the front stretch, you can definitely see quite a bit. There's that light right there that kind of shows them that braking zone. Turn 3 and 4, really not a lot of light though, so once we hit pitch black, which I don't expect we will, that could get pretty interesting. Turn 1, or front stretch, no problems. Turn 1, no issue at all. Even turn 2 really is not too bad. So it's really just that back stretch and the exit. Yeah, so turn 2 through the back stretch is really the worst part of it. Maybe even 3. So either way, a lot of these guys gonna make it work. Always a fun time. Definitely our screw up. Not ours, mine. So apologize for that. But hey, either way, we're going to get something different tonight in the front. All good. Here we go, though. Hey, those cautions take a lot of time, right? If we didn't have those cautions, man, we'd be wrapping up just about right now, if not way sooner. So a lot of cautions can happen. Frankie Barroso comes down pit road. Here we go. 16 laps to go. Now everybody is in there. Oh, Lordy. I think I just heard somebody hit the wall or blow up or something. I think we all heard that. But either way, they all come down pit road. Frankie Barroso now. But 15 laps to go. We can do this, folks. We are almost done this thing. But does this change the strategy, right? I mean, obviously, you can't see nothing for half of the track. But a lot of these guys coming down pit road now, Mealy and Necula, not looking too bad right here. So a lot of these guys, Fleming, a bunch of guys too. Brandon 6 right now, still doing his thing. Brendan Bowie not too far back either. And the funny thing about this is that this actually might help a lot of the guys who also road race, you know, like, because we all, I mean, I include myself in that because I also road race. Like, you see that transition from day into night in some of these road courses, you know, not that this is a road course, but some of the transitions, they don't have a lot of lights in certain corners. You look at like Daytona Road Course, very well lit up, but there's a lot of them that don't, you know, quite frankly. And right now we're seeing Anderson take the lead. A lot of guys coming down pit road though, 2 tires and 4 tires. And this is the question, do we see 2 tires? I think Tim Robb here just took the 2. So now we're seeing Anderson come down pit road. That's going to inherit the lead to Gasorn with 13 laps to go. Hey, I see you, Matthew Pont, in the chat. You could have been here and enjoyed all this fun too, but hey, look, we're all allowed to screw up once in a while, and this is on me, you know? Or maybe it isn't. Maybe I didn't expect 9 cautions, but it's all good. Front of the field here is still Scott Gasorn. Anderson comes down pit road. We definitely expect Brandon Six to get the lead at some point, but man, Brandon Bowie's right there too. Definitely getting hard to see. Right on board real quick, Brandon Bowie. Actually, Brandon Six, excuse me. And you can see it front stretch, just fine. Looks like a normal, you know, lit up nighttime track. Turn 1, not too bad, really. And then it kind of just drops off after these lights right here. Turn 3, or turn 2, excuse me, really pretty tight. Hagan going to be on the outside here, trying to make his way through. You can really see, I mean, that light at the end kind of points you in the right direction, which I guess is really all they need. They have that light for the braking zone in 3 and 4, and at this point it's kind of muscle memory, right? You can kind of just feel it out. It's not pitch black, and obviously it's still lit up, but a lot of these guys still struggling to get that track position. Jonathan Wright, hey, finally got on pit road the right way. Looking pretty good there. Jonathan Wright giving up top 10 actually right there, so trying to get him done. 10 laps to go right now. A lot of guys still coming down pit road, so this, oh no, Woodruff spins it on pit road. That shouldn't be a caution because it is right on pit road. He can get it back going easily. Man, that can happen. Scott Gasorn comes down. Woodruff, though, gonna fire it back up. Off he goes. So same thing we saw Jonathan Wright do, but Woodruff got it done way later. So David Medina up to P1 right here. And he get this thing done. Comes down pit road. There he goes. Harper. So this right here is what I expect to be the leaders at the end of the green flag runs. And John Hagan, yet again, we talked about him earlier, man. He is so close to getting that first win of his career in ASRA. And he's right there. He's knocking on the door. Brandon Six has kind of fallen off a little bit. Not sure why, really. Truthfully, it could be the visibility, but man, John Hagan so close to getting that win. Harper, though, still your leader as he gets into that wall. And based on our calculations, everyone has come down pit road. Medina, the last one to do that, but did get that that lead lap to get the extra point. So great stuff. John Hagan, though, this is what we're going to watch because right now, man, 7 laps to go. We've seen this before. Brandon Bowie and John Hagan together last season at Darlington. Man, a late race yellow came out that really, honestly, screwed John Hagan. He was out front by like 3 or 4 seconds. But he was out front by like 3 or 4 seconds, and he just had it. He was so fast. But 3 laps to go, yellow came out, and that kind of ruined his thing. But still had a chance to go for it. And Brandon Bowie right now might be giving it up. John Hagan on the inside. Brandon Bowie Oh, Hagan has the preferred line, gets clear, so John Hagan gets it done right there. Looking good for John Hagan, rocking the Murica paint scheme. Where is it? There it is. 81 Murica paint scheme. Love that. Had to run an American paint scheme in Japan. Pretty funny, but hey, that can happen. So John Hagan up front right now, trying that polka dot trick in Indianapolis where they kind of scoot down to the inside to avoid that draft from the car behind him. But 5 laps to go. Brandon Bowie, Frankie Barroso, and Brandon 6 right now. Man, Brandon 6 won the pole, stage 1. Couldn't quite get it stage 2, but chose not to get that for strategy. And man, right here, unfortunately, falling off. Anderson in P5. What a great run for him as we roll down. Tim Robb in P6. Another great run after a P7 last week. I'll tell you what, Tim Robb is on a roll lately. Very cool to see. Nick Lights, kind of a comeback after that yellow flag that came out that kind of screwed his strategy. Up to P7. Very good stuff. Matthew Fleming in P8. Michael Johnson, another consistent run in P9. And Dylan Bates to P10. And then Jonathan Adams, 11th place right now after. Man, what a great run. Opening debut race for ASRA and having a good run. Hasn't gotten in trouble. Done his thing. Really solid stuff. So great run by Jonathan Adams right here. But John Hagan, this might be his race. Can John Hagan get this thing done? Funny enough, the last time, this is trivia that only I would know. The last time I screwed up a race session was in Darlington, the Darlington race that John Hagan probably should have won if a caution didn't come out with 2 laps to go, because I set the session up as static weather. So the weather never changed. It was always like 90 degrees, right? It never ever changed. And he just found something that worked, and it got him into that scenario to win the race. And flash forward to right now, Motegi, where we might have set the start time of this race a little bit too late. Another screw up by me, myself, and I. John Hagan is here again, trying to do what he has been trying to do now all season. In all career, really. In the 81 America Paint Scheme, he's going to take that white flag, sponsored by Cardano, and he is 4 corners away from winning the international race here in Motegi. Has tried so hard all season and all last season, really wanted this win. He's a guy who's been able to win for so long. He has the talent, has the skill. But in, again, another unpredictable kind of a race, John Hagan is going to find a way to finally break through here and get his first win of the ASRA career. John Hagan is your international race winner here in Motegi. What an incredible job from John Hagan to finally get it done. Your top 5, John Hagan, Brandon Bowie, Frankie Barroso, Brandon 6, and Tim Robb with the top 5. Unbelievable job. But John Hagan is the man to get it done. In a race where we didn't expect to have that many cautions. But either way, great racing when we had it. John Hagan gets it done for his first win of his career. Rocking the Murica paint scheme. Looking good. His first win. Jonathan Adams, his buddy. He brought him in and got it done. First wins are always so sweet. And John Hagan has come a long time to get this win. Let's let him burn that thing to the ground. Great stuff as usual. Eventful race. that turned into a night race or a sunset race that we did not expect. But regardless, John Hagen found out how to get the job done and adapt to the ever-changing conditions. John Hagen with that win. Smeal Racing Designs on the hood. And America on the side, looking just fantastic. Good stuff, folks. We'll come back in just a second. We'll thank our sponsors. We'll talk to our top three. Stick around.
Fancy like Husky, fancy like Husky, fancy like Husky, fancy like Doggy bowl empty, Vegas pool sleeping, Rug pull, cash grab, NFTs delight, Rug pull, cash grab, idiot.
All right, folks, let's bring in the top three right now, as we expect to do. Man, what a great job by these boys. Frankie Brosa, we'll bring him in first as the third place driver. Give us just a second to sneak him in here real quick. All right, let's bring him in. Here he is. Frankie Broso. Here he is. Frankie Broso. P3 today, another race where, man, up in the booth I'm thinking, what the hell is he doing? But he makes it work for a top three. And oddly enough, before the race said, uh-oh, I don't know if we're going to finish under sun conditions. And here we are, nighttime in MOTEGI, man. But hey, either way, P3 on the day. How'd it go for you?
Yeah, it was we made a P3 at midnight. You know, it was an interesting race. The last 20 laps, I couldn't see a damn thing. It was kind of fun. It was fun when you hit the corner just right, and then when you're in the wall, you're like, oh damn it, this is not fun. But it's all good. I mean,
it's just
yeah. This might have been whoever created a session.
Oh,
we need to talk.
We've already talked about it. I'm completely cooked, and hey, we messed up, but it's all good. It created a funny atmosphere. These things can happen, and truthfully, I didn't expect 9 cautions, right? I expected kind of a race like we had at Kansas or Homestead last week. You know, pretty quick race, and timing sometimes just didn't add up. So it's all good. It made for a goofy time, but at the end of the day, it can happen. But yeah, talk to us about your, race. Like, how did the conditions change, over the course of, that, really the stage 3?
Yeah, at the end of stage 2, I was kind of torn because what we saw in the first stage where caution came out just before the stage end, and the guys that pitted for 4 tires, like at the end, were restarting back in 25th. So I think the strategy, at least for me, to kind of sacrifice the stage points. However, I probably wasn't gonna get very many anyway, and I got track position, and it was fun. Got very lucky on the last caution, I think. Was able to get down pit road just as the caution came out. Ended up taking 4, and from there just trying to keep up with 6, and was doing a decent job. And I think the 81 car had a little more than me tonight, and you know it is what it is. But just gotta thank you for putting on the broadcast, Bowie Esports, all my teammates. And yeah, it was fun. It was a fun track. I figured there'd be as many cautions because of turn 2, but you know it's all good. We'll regroup to next week.
Yes, sir, man. Hey, all good. Top 3 on the day, not too bad. So good stuff, man. We'll catch you next week. Real quick, anybody want to shout out real fast?
I said it.
I'm cooked.
You might be cooked.
You know what? Just forget about it. Just get out.
Yeah,
of
here. I'm usually a long talker, so yeah, I'll make my way out of here.
All right, we'll see you. Okay, we're bringing Bowie next. Here he is, Brandon Bowie with a P2 right now. Also, our IMSA experience director. And man, I think tonight we kind of got a hint of some road racing action. I thought for a second we were going to do the oval, but then we got into the dark conditions, and I might have been a little bit. I don't know. You know, I might have messed up a little bit, but it's okay. 9 cautions later, don't always expect it, but hey, I'm allowed to goof up once in a while. It's all good. Either way, it was fun. You finished P2, man. How'd it go for you?
Yeah. Well, I'm be honest with you. Coming in, I didn't expect to lead any laps or even be in contention for a win. So that was interesting. Unfortunately, the night, you know, racing at night really couldn't see. Played a big factor into, I mean, just being able to hit your marks, which is fine. You know, it's like you said, mistakes happen, so it's all good on that aspect. But yeah, I mean, once we got past like all the kind of foolishness that was kind of happening around, you know, we had some good green flag runs, and I thought that was actually pretty entertaining. I was telling my teammates, I was like, you know, I don't usually sweat during races, but the last 2 races I've actually sweat. So that tells me that I'm actually putting in the effort and putting in the time to really maximize, you know, my racecraft and what I'm doing. So, you know, P2, you know, it would have been nice to get a P to win and get back-to-back wins, but you know, that's Hagen's first win, so unfortunately I'm hearing already that it's could be considered a Mickey Mouse win though.
Oof.
So so it's a little harsh for your first win, but yeah, I mean, other than that, yeah, I mean, the race was pretty good. We'll just have to make sure that we don't run it at night.
Okay, you know what? I'm going to just accept all the flaming for the next 24 hours. It's on me. I get it. Either way, though, hey, P2, good job, man. Give us your shout-outs real quick, and we'll get you going.
Yeah, got to thank sponsor. Wow, sorry, I'm kind of flabbergasted out here. Sorry. Gotta thank Gremlin Cards, EMOS. If you go on their website at tinyurl.com/Gremlins Cards, you can use Bowie Esports 20 for 20% off. Check them out. We got Circle B Diecast, Boosted, my team, Bowie Esports. You, of course, for putting on the league, which is pretty entertaining week in and week out. I gotta thank broadcast, of course. Gotta thank the family. I don't know, man. I'm trying to readjust my eyes, to be honest with you, because I've seen it's like I've been in the dark for the laps and laps. So, but now I'm joking. But yeah, that's all I got.
All right, man. Good stuff, dude. We'll let you get going. Good P2, man.
All right, thanks, man.
All right, there he is. We'll bring in next John Hagen, the winner today of the international race, and guess what? Gets also a fresh new trophy as well to go along for it. Let's bring him in real fast. Here he is. John Hagen, hey, not a choke artist anymore, finally breaks through in probably what is, in near history, a very interesting race, especially how it ended. So, either way, man, in the sun or in the dark, you got it done, man. Good job. How you feel, dude?
I feel awesome. I finally played a strategy right, and a caution didn't come out to change everything, and I was able to make it one-on-one with other drivers who might have been struggling with visibility. So overall, it was nice. It was tough. My hands were cramped, but yeah, it was awesome.
Love that. I can barely hear you. I don't know if you can turn yourself up at all, but yeah, man.
But yeah, no.
Perfect. There you go.
Okay, yeah. The first stage, it was. I decided to flip it because I thought track position was going to be more important for second stage because I thought we'd go green and it really didn't.
Mhm.
So that's why I gave up the stage points there. And then second stage, opportunity presented itself again towards the end of it, and I chose not to for the stage points that I missed out on in stage one. And then after that, it was just climb through the field and then got a really lucky caution that trapped a bunch of people lap down, but it also helped a couple others that put them in front of me. So from that point, it was just claw my way forward and end up in victory lane, and that's what we did.
Yeah, man, really good stuff. And you kind of maybe touched on it, but I mean, you know, Six and Bowie and those guys were really fast the entire time. So, I mean, you know, I've been joking around with the other guys. Obviously, it's my mistake for not having the session as long, or I guess as soon as it should have ended. Obviously, 9 cautions don't help that. But either way, do you think it was just a matter of visibility, or did they actually lose something, you know, based on tires maybe, or you know, strategy?
I don't know what Six took. It felt like he was on 2 with his pace, or not 2, 0 with his pace. I knew Bowie took 2, and he took him a whole lot earlier, so I had tire advantage there. And he was telling me in the interview waiting room he had less fuel, so he didn't have enough weight on the rears to get him slipping, so it was just tight for him.
Okay.
And I had a pretty good balance with the 2 and the amount of fuel I put in, and I also had the freshest out of them at the front, so that just made it easier, and I just committed. If I hit the wall, I hit the wall, and luckily I didn't. So, yeah.
Hey, man, good stuff. You got the job done. Your first win in ASRA, kind of a unique one. You know, you won the first night race in Motegi ever, probably. But it's all good either way, man. Give us any shout-outs you might want to have real quick. Friends, family, sponsors.
Shout out John Smill for the paint scheme. Shout out OU Esports and the OU Sim Racing team. I'm glad that I could be a part of them, and we'll go get them coming up in these next couple of months. Shout out ASRA, you Steve, for putting on these wonderful shows. I know today was a slip, but I'm not complaining. Shout out my beautiful girlfriend for always supporting me doing this. And yeah, we'll go get them next week.
Yes, sir, man. Locked into the playoffs. Also going to get a trophy, a fresh race win trophy heading your way. I'll be getting with you on that as well. So pretty cool stuff for this race. But yeah, Chicagoland next week, man. We'll see you then. Good stuff today.
Thank you.
There he is, John Hagen. What a great job today to get this race win for him. Man, a race that we didn't expect, obviously, to have that, you know, that difference or whatnot. But hey, either way, it happened. We finished it, and we got the job done. So, interesting race. Those are going to happen. Either way, though, John Hagen, your winner today from Motegi. Good stuff. There's the track right there. There's the finishing order on the left side of your screen. Big thanks to you folks for being here, obviously, for supporting the channel, supporting the league. We'll be back tomorrow, actually, for the IMSA experience at Detroit. Belle Isle will be race number 3 of the season, and that's been a great, a lot of fun so far. So cannot wait for that. But great finishing results on the left. And then after that, we'll be back next week. The Nora Truck Series, if you were there for yesterday, we're off for quite a bit. They're off for about a month since they follow the real schedule. So we'll come back for that. But next Tuesday, Chicagoland, and then that'll be a lot of fun. But be back tomorrow night, folks, for the IMSA experience at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. That'll be at Detroit Belle Isle. So cannot wait for that. Big thanks to you guys, and a fun race turned into pretty interesting, but all good. Have a good night, folks. We love you. Take care.